Hello and welcome. Really excited to be presenting this 1987 190E 2.3 16 valve, obviously famous for being the E30 M3's primary competitor, obviously a Mercedes product. It has the 5-speed, it's got a Cosworth-derived 2.3 liter motor, and it is just fantastic to drive. I have always been a huge fan of these cars. I love the styling. I love how boxy they are. Obviously love the flared fenders slash wheel arches, and just the overall styling of these is very, very flattering. I think they're extremely well styled, and I hadn't driven one before getting into this one. This is actually my first time driving one of these, and I was absolutely stunned at the quality of the handling, the acceleration, the braking. I mean, it is a really, really, really solid sports car, even considering that it is close to 40 years old. It might actually be older. I think it's 38 years old or something like that. Not gonna do the mental math or bore you with that right off the cuff. But yeah, just a fantastic car. The styling's incredible, both from the front, the side, and the rear. There really is no unflattering angle to these cars. They are just so, so handsome, and really the golden era of Mercedes-Benz, in my opinion. Obviously, the early years with like the 300 SL Gullwing, and when they were competing in Le Mans in the 50s, were obviously also known as the golden years. But this car pretty much marked Mercedes' return to racing. I think, as many folks know, that in 1955, after their tragic incident at Le Mans, many spectators were killed by, I believe, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I hate being wrong about these things, but a Mercedes engine block came out of a car and killed quite a few spectators, and Mercedes agreed, or that it was such a dark day for them, that they would not compete in motorsport. And around the time of this car's release, they finally agreed to re-enter the motorsports and competitive racing world, and this car was an absolute dominator. I think it was beat out by the E30 sometimes, and I believe it also later raced against the E36s in the Touring Car Championship, all of that good stuff. There's fantastic historical footage of these cars, specifically the Evos, being campaigned all around the globe, and obviously very successfully. I'll actually probably post some classic archival footage of these cars in their heyday to the listing. But yeah, really just a lot of heritage here, and of course, how could you not love the styling of these? So without further ado, the point of these videos are so that you all, the bidders and the watchers, commenters, viewers, can know as much about this car as we can possibly present to you. So obviously, in lieu of the fact that many of you, I'm sure, won't be able to be here in person to look at the car, Bring a Trailer is a nationwide platform. We are as thorough as we possibly can be with what I like to call our really video inspections. We do a quick cosmetic overview, we do a quick interior overview, obviously do a cold start, check out the engine bay, check out the trunk, and then we go for a drive to show you guys what works, what doesn't work, what is flawed, what isn't flawed, and overall just, convey the vibe of the automobile in question. So starting up front, we've got glass headlights with plastic surrounds that are just ever so slightly faded. You do get these headlight washers though, which are really cool. Nice plastic front bumper. It's got a little bit of fading, but otherwise is in nice shape. Not any dings or dents or scratches. Very good. Little bit of whitening on the plastic here and a little bit of fading on the chrome. Got your tri-star Mercedes emblem, of course, on the front though. Fantastic touch, classic New York plate, and this lower diffuser is also in really nice shape. Just a little bit of scratching here on the very lower lip of it, but overall, very, very nice. Driver's side headlight assembly also in nice shape. The actual headlight itself is very clear, and then you just get some really mild fading on the shroud there. The chrome grille, the surround is in very nice shape, And overall, the hood's in good shape. There's just a little bit of a imperfection there and a couple of various really mild rock chips. Again, you also get your headlight washers. It's also a little bit of a scratch here, but otherwise really, really nice. The driver's side of the front bumper is good. And then we just have one more small scratch down here. But again, otherwise and overall in very good shape. The top of the hood as well presents very, very well. Just one very small scratch here, pretty minuscule, but we will point out all flaws, small and large. That one would definitely fall into the small category. I do also love the period detail pinstripes here. Very, very cool little addition. And of course, I think my favorite feature on these cars, the additional, some may call these box flares. Very, very cool looking piece of kit. I also love these alloy wheels. I believe they're alloy. And of course, you get a decent tire setup on these cars, pretty grippy. These are Kumo Extas, and they are from 2013. So a little bit on the older side, but still feel pretty good, have plenty of grip. And then just looking at that rotor, very new looking rotor, very new looking caliper, which we absolutely love to see. And the front quarter as a whole is in really nice shape. Same with the aft section of the hood on the driver's side, and even behind the driver front wheel, we are in very good shape. We do just have one little paint chip there, but otherwise really, really good. And even down below on these kind of blackened rocker panels, we see good condition other than a little bit of paint fade there, and it starts to run, excuse me, all the way down towards the end, just a little bit of mild fading. You have these widened flares down below on the bottom half of the car, and then up top, you just have your regular body panels. A-pillars look great. Glass looks great. You have your mono wiper, which kind of does like that double rising motion, so you don't just get linear motion, it actually comes up and down as it traverses the windshield, a feature that I've always thought is really cool about these mono wipers. All of your windshield trim is also in really nice shape. Nothing's delaminating or anything like that. I'm not seeing any rock chips in the windshield itself. Got these nice dark mirrors and mirror caps, which are also in nice shape. Driver front door glass in very nice shape as well. Very crystal clear. Little bit of fading on the door handle, but overall, nothing that would cause me concern. A couple of just hairline scratches here. A little bit of a, paint degradation mark there. But overall, again, really nice shape. And then just one little paint mark here as well. But the driver door overall presents extremely well, especially considering this is a 130,000 mile car. Up top, we've got the roof with a sunroof, all in really nice shape. There's a little bit of paint fade and hairlining, probably from being exposed to sun over the years. But again, it does overall present very well. The B-pillars look good. You have this door protector here. And then coming now back to the driver rear passenger door, you can see that the interior leather trim on the top of the door card is coming up a little bit, but otherwise no cause for concern. The rubber trim seals for the window are also in good shape. Got your radio alarm stickers. And then for the door itself, we do just have one little ding there, one small scratch here, but overall, again, really nice shape. You do still have this paint fade on the rocker panel, but again, overall, very nice. A tiny bit of fade on the driver rear passenger door pull here. But again, very solid for a 130,000 mile car, especially. For your C-pillar, you just have a little bit of paint fade here, but otherwise quite nice. You have your vents on the C-pillar as well, and your pinstriping runs the entire length of the car, which is cool. As for the rear driver tire, again, the Kumo Extas, let me find a date code for these. Again, 2013s in the rear, so both tires on the driver's side are 2013s. There's no curbing on the wheels whatsoever. They look like they've been refinished, and they look fantastic. You get discs in the rear. The rotor itself looks very good. Same with the caliper, no problems there. Your box flares are in good shape. Your rear quarter panel as a whole is in good shape. You've got your antenna that's been converted to manual, obviously just much simpler to operate there. You just pull it out when you'd like to listen to the radio and whatnot. The rearmost section of the driver quarter is also in really nice shape. There's just a tiny little scratch here, tiny little scratch here, but the tail light is in really nice shape. The lower part of the bumper is in really nice shape, and your plastic trim, plastic rubberized trim is also in really nice shape. So now coming to the full rear of the car, but starting with the rear window, very large rear window. The visibility in this car is very, very good. Looks to be in fantastic shape. No chips, no discoloration. All of the rubber sealing is very, very nice. The deck lid or the trunk lid also in great shape. You have this optional rear spoiler, which I think really just completes the look of these 190s. You also have Wilhelm, which I'm assuming is where the car was sold new potentially or early on in its life in Glens Falls, New York. You have your proper badging, 190E, 2.3, 1.6 with the Mercedes emblem in the middle, and then your integrated brake light under that rear spoiler. So the driver's side taillight looks fantastic, and I love these triple row lights. Very rigid, very boxy, definitely a very flattering looking tail light. And then this dual exit exhaust, well, single side dual exit exhaust, but the entire rear end of the car looks fantastic. Doesn't look like it's ever been backed into anything. There is just a tiny bit of paint missing there, but otherwise really, really good. So now for the passenger side of the car, same story. The top of the trunk lid looks great. The spoiler's in very good shape. Your badging looks great. Your passenger side tail light is in fantastic shape. And even down below, we look very good, other than one small little crack there, one small little nick there, and a little bit of an abrasion slash rub on this outer passenger side of the, I guess one would call this a bumperette per se. But again, nothing that would really cause me concern. Your pinstriping's in great shape. The upper part of the passenger rear quarter looks fantastic. There is just a little bit more scratching here, just along this leading edge of your box flare, so to speak, and one small scratch below it. But again, considering the mileage on this car, I think it's admirable that it's been kept in this nice of condition. Your C-pillar looks great. The passenger side of the rear window looks great. I always like to just touch the seals, make sure they're not too dried out, and they're not. They're still nice and supple, which is great to see. We have a little bit of imperfection in the clear coat here on the passenger side, but overall, nothing, again, that would cause me concern. The roof is quite clean and presents quite well. Just a couple of mild imperfections in the clear coat there. Coming down to the passenger rear tire, again, the Kumo Extras. This is actually a 2014 tire, so 1 year newer. And again, just look at the condition of this wheel. They are in such nice shape. I'm not seeing any flaws. They look fantastic. The rotor looks good. The caliper looks good. Very pleased there. And again, even though the tires are, 10-ish years old, they do feel quite good. We'll do some spirited driving just to demonstrate that there is plenty of grip left. And yeah, so the front section of the rear passenger quarter is also in nice shape. You do just have a little bit of scratching on this outer box flare here, but it's quite minuscule. And now we can head up to the passenger rear door. First and foremost, the glass is in fantastic shape. Touching the trim, it's not dried out. It's still pliable and malleable. You have your radio alarm sticker, which is nice to see. You also have a little tiny bit of fading on the plastic door handle, but the door itself is free from any dings or dents. You just have this one very small scratch here, but otherwise really, really nice. And you also don't see on this rocker panel the same paint degradation that you do on the driver's side. It's nice and uniform and black all the way through. Looking at the B-pillar and the door panel gaps, nice and uniform. And then of course, the car widens out towards the bottom, which I think just adds to the very aggressive and sporty look that this thing presents with. Wonder what that nice. That's interesting sounding. Oh, it's a Subaru. Interesting. Anyways, passenger front door. Again, another one. It's really the rear driver's side door and the passenger front, but just a little bit of delamination in the leather on the upper part of the door card here. The window looks great. The passenger side front of the roof also looks great. All your windshield trim is in fantastic shape. Same with the A-pillars. Sunroof sits nice and flush, which is a really important thing to look at. Your mirror caps look great. There's a little bit, oh, I thought I was feeling an abrasion. That is just a little bit of lettering there. A little bit of paint fade towards the top here, but overall, quite solid condition. Passenger front door, again, just a little bit of fading on the door handle itself, but no dings, dents, or scratches other than this tiny little one on this passenger front door there. Really minuscule. And then coming all the way forward towards the rear of the front passenger rocker panel, we just have a little bit of abrasion there, probably from some rubbing, but overall really nice. The passenger side's in fantastic shape. You don't get your typical degradation from road debris and rocks being kicked up on this inner fender on the passenger front quarter. The upper quarter looks great. Your box flares look great. Little bit of just really mild scratching there, really, really mild, and overall presents very well. The wheel and tire look great. We've got 03 14s, so 13s on the driver's side and very early 14s on the passenger side. There's a little bit of variation in between tire date codes, even if you buy a complete set. Sometimes they'll be manufactured, 10 or so weeks apart or what have you, depending on what the retailer has in stock. So no need for concern there. And also, these passenger front wheels are always the ones to get curbed first, but it's lovely to see that there is no curbing on this wheel whatsoever. Those rotors look great. Calipers look very fresh, and the wheel itself just looks fantastic. So last but not least, for the cosmetic overview of the exterior, the windshield itself is in really nice shape. No rock chips or discoloration or anything that causes me concern. The passenger side of the hood, also really, really nice. No imperfections as far as I can see. And yeah, really pleased to see that. Just quickly, you've got your amber marker light / turn signal here and the passenger outer side of the bumper, all in really nice shape. Very pleased to see that. So now we'll head around to the interior, do a quick overview, check out the trunk, and check out the engine bay. Alrighty, now for the interior, in very nice shape, very well preserved, similar to the exterior. Door cards are really just perfect. Even the driver's seat, the bolster has a little bit of wear on this upper part here and some very mild wear on the lower and aftmost part there, but overall is in very nice shape. There's not much creasing. Really pleased to see that. The kick plates, the passenger seat, all that stuff in very nice shape. Even the steering wheel has very little wear on it. The dashboard and the gauge cluster, all the wood trim is intact exactly as you'd want to see, save for one small little trim piece missing here. But again, otherwise very, very pleased to see the condition of the car. And even down below, the pedals, the carpeting all look fantastic. There's not even really any wear on the shift knob or the parking brake, which is rare to see. And you do still have all your stenciled markings on your stalks, typically that get worn away with use over time. Now, as I was saying about the rear driver's side passenger, you can see where the leather on the top of the door card, the door sill, delaminated just a little bit. It has been stapled in place, so it will hold, but it is just slightly delaminated, not a major issue, but just a mild cosmetic flaw. The rest of the door card's in fantastic shape though. Same with the seat backs. Same with this really just entire rear bench, really nice looking rear bench. Your passenger footwells also are in great shape. And last but not least, the headliner is in very nice shape. So while we're working around, we can check out the trunk, which is a push button operation, very tactile feature there. Your wheel wells all look great. Spare tire area is carpeted, all that good stuff. And then down below in the spare tire area, we've got the spare, the jack, all that good stuff. No rust in the rear trunk floor. Nice to see. Very, very pleased to see that. You also have a toolkit there as well. Very, very nice to see. Overall in fantastic shape. And obviously the trunk lid on the underside is also in fantastic shape. So now for the passenger side, rear passenger in really nice shape. And again, you don't have that delamination on this door card. It is just the rear driver passenger and the front passenger seat. But the door card's in fantastic shape. The seat's in fantastic shape. There is just one little abrasion here. But otherwise, the bench looks great. The seat back looks great. The passenger footwell looks great. All that stuff is exactly as you'd want to see. And of course, the headliner from the passenger side also looks very good. So last but not least, for the interior, sorry for putting my fingers on the glass there, I do know better. You, again, just have a little bit of that delamination here at the top of the door card. Another classic Mercedes signature feature is the seat adjusters on the door instead of on the outer edge of the lower seat bolster. Kick plates look great. The door card looks great. The footwell looks great. Look at this wood trim. This almost always cracks and delaminates and all that stuff, but it's in very nice shape other than just one little crack right there. The dashboard up top also just looks very, very good. The center console, all of your gauges, all of your trim in great shape, and then the seat itself looks fantastic. There's just a little bit, may scratch off. Nope. A little bit of a paint stain, it looks like here, just a white stain, but the bolster looks very good, both the lower and the upper bolster. You don't see that same wear that you see on the driver's side. Not that it's bad, it's actually not bad at all considering, again, the mileage of this car. So really fantastic condition as far as the interior is concerned. Now for the fun part, you do heavier doors. So I'm always overly gentle with cars, especially ones that are over 20 years old, or really the barometer is if they're older than me, I'm extra gentle, and I am 25. So this car is in fact older than me by some margin. Another fun thing is the hood pull sticks out through the grille. You pull it up. There you go. There is that very famous Cosworth 2.3 2.316 valve, excuse me. Your hood liner is in very good shape. There's a little bit of corrosion up at the top of the hood, but again, nothing that is egregious or causes major concern. Again, crazy fall day, so lots of leaves, even if you leave the car out for just a few minutes. Your shocks and shock towers look good. Newer looking battery, nice big battery there with a kill switch. All of your fluids. This does have hydraulic suspension, all in good shape. Valve cover looks good. Motor looks good. Got a bare radiator. All of your options codes, I believe, would be found there. And yeah, overall, really nice shape. One flaw that the owner definitely made sure that we know about and would like us to point out is that there's a little bit of rust here, and it's the same on the other side. Again, it's not severe. This car has already had the most important rust repairs done, but you do just get a little bit there, a little bit on the other side. But again, not anything that causes major concern, especially if you're going to own this car in a drier climate or keep it in a garage like the current owner has for the, I think, 11 years that he's owned this car. So very, very nice. It's always good to see when owners are careful. Obviously, the condition hasn't worsened under his ownership, and he's been very adamant about keeping it from getting any more rust buildup than already exists on those wheel wells, I guess one would describe that area as. So now, without further ado, we'll do a cold start. It's about 45 degrees out today, and then we'll hit the road. And now for a quick cold start. It's been about, as I said, about 45 degrees all day, so definitely nice and chilly. Hand on the exhaust here. So nice also with the Mercedes keychain there. I think that's a great touch. Very comfortable seats also in this car. So leave it in an ignition position for a few seconds and starts right up. Oil pressure's good. Temps are low. Idling at about 1,000 off of the cold start. And yeah, very healthy sounding motor here. We've got the parking brake on. Pull it up one more rung. Very nice, very, very nice. So let's hit the road. So here we are. The first thing I'm gonna do is move my seat back just a little bit. Also test the seat functions here. So backrest there, going back. We will also turn the heat on. Let's give ourselves some heat, and it'll probably take a second. You've also got a sticker with your shift pattern there, just in case this wears out over time. We'll go, I believe that would be that. We open those. And there's a decent amount of features here. So we'll have to, so the antenna has been deleted. That is now manually operated. What else do we have? We've got our hazards here working as they should. Also your brake, parking brake indicator works as it should. We've got our mono wiper there, very cool. And you see how it kind of oscillates as it goes, as it traverses. We'll also do a spray, which works exactly as they should. Love to see that as well. Should have saved that to the end so we don't get a cloudy windshield, but no problem. We've also got a cruise control stock, lights. Where would the locking mechanism be? So power locks. When you push it down, they all simultaneously lock, and when you pull it up, there they go. They unlock. Absolutely love to see that. I'll adjust my mirrors. There is the passenger mirror working as it should. And funny enough, they're different sizes. So that one is very square, and this one is very rectangular. And it's funny because this one is manually adjustable, and that one is power operated. Isn't that silly? Very cool little feature there. Heat is starting to kick on as the engine comes up to temperature. Oil temperature, battery voltage. This, I believe, is a VDO lap timer, which we have been informed does not function. Also your ashtray with your pop-up cigarette lighter, very cool. Got the radio here with some static. We want FM radio, which I'm not the best with these old radios. The antenna is down. The antenna is down. So we're just getting some static, but the system does function exactly as it should. Screen lights up exactly as you'd want to see. Then you can also put in a cassette if you'd like, and it's a Becker system. That should pretty much do it. We've also got nice little horn there. I don't believe it's a power operated, there, I had a feeling. Okay, see, there you go. Open and close, and it's not just a push button, you have to hold it. Closes exactly as it should. Got your dome lights here also, put it on 0. What else have we got? Before I get on my way, we're gonna put the fan on 1. It's still, I don't know, okay, so AC, no, we want heat, So it's not too hot yet. Again, engine temp is not quite up. Yeah, that's right. Passenger front window, and we'll do the, here's this one, up and down, and here's the rears. They go all the way down, no child safety features here. Very nice. I'll put my seatbelt on also. Where's my, there it is. Take the parking brake off, and let's hit the road. Alrighty, let's hit the road. Coming out in first here, behind our landlord and his lovely SVT Cobra SN95. Big fan of those. But yeah, great car. Feels fantastic. I'm gonna turn our fan down. so nice to drive. I love the way you can manipulate the transmission. The steering feels fantastic. The engine note is very rewarding, especially when you get up in the rev range. I mean, it's got a 6,500 RPM rev line. So you can definitely rev this thing out. It'll go. It's definitely a buzz bomb. And the power is pretty surprising. I gotta say, it's not a slow car by any means. It's pretty fast, it's pretty sporty, but most of all, I don't always use this term to describe a car, even a fast car. It is actually very confidence inspiring, and keep in mind we're on 10-year-old tires. But it is definitely very confidence inspiring. Nice little downshift there. Pull onto a tighter little road here, third gear downshift. Turning in, I love the steering ratio as well. You don't have to turn the wheel much to get some decent steering angle in. Third gear, coming up the hill. Car rotates very well. There's $5,000. The turn-in is just fantastic. The suspension feels amazing. It's like someone got themselves into trouble here. Really nice. It's a total Hummer. Total Hummer. Really hums along very nicely. Very nice. So we'll get into the twisties here, coming up the hill. Drop to fourth, now drop to third. Send it on up the hill. Rotates so well. Very nice. And this is a bumpy road in this specific section. It handles it with ease. It's a great country road carver because you have that very dynamic hydraulic suspension. Just feels fantastic. There's actually not much body roll, definitely nowhere near as much as I would have expected. And the cornering grip is fantastic. And of course, when it's time to accelerate out of that corner, it's very impressive as well. Unfortunately, we've got a Dodge Ram in front of us who's going to slow us down significantly. But he's got Ram boxes, so he's probably cool. But yeah, very nice, very sweet, very sweet. And then when it's time to cruise, perfectly comfortable and, you know, great feeling cruiser. Really just a car that is a perfect jack of all trades. And that's kind of a rare thing to find, because oftentimes you get into the triangle of compromise. Is it fast? Is it comfortable? I mean, it's more than a triangle, it's like a pentagon, but is it fast? Is it comfortable? Is it reliable? And is it affordable? Really, primarily, right? So, yes, it's fast enough. Yes, it's comfortable. Yes, it's affordable. And yes, for the most part, it is pretty reliable. So definitely a car that checks a lot of boxes. And then of course you throw in the pedigree history of being a British touring car, championship winning car, again, if I'm not mistaken. You can't forget about the styling. So when you consider all the factors on these, they are really just a wonderful package. And especially considering the price point that these can be had at. I mean, look at the prices of obviously a 190e 2.3 Evo, hugely expensive car, but for its baby brother, which this is, it sits at a very attainable price point, even for a nice example like this with some miles. You know, you'll be in the pretty high teens, maybe low 20s, depending on how folks are feeling like bidding that day. But yeah, just a fantastic car for the money. I mean, here is, tough road to be biking on. A lot of blind corners there. at least one qualm that I point out, but with this, I am nothing but impressed. Genuinely, nothing but impressed. Hard braking coming into the corner, stops very, very well. Front end grip loads up exactly like you'd expect. And again, on these pretty old tires, you get some pretty significant grip. I am impressed. Wow, what a fun package. What a fun package. And a gorgeous fall evening that we get to enjoy this car on. It's just an absolute thrill. These are such cool cars. I've been a lifelong Mercedes fan, so especially appealing to me, who has owned many classic and modern Mercedes. But this is definitely one. After having gotten familiar with this 190, it's going on my list for sure. If I were a wealthier man, I would already have one, no doubt about it. But I'm at the point in my life where I have to go one car at a time, maybe two for the most part. But yeah, this definitely would take some priority on the purchase list, no doubt about it, after having driven it. They are truly fantastic cars to drive. They look great. So much fun. And then we'll stop hard. Wow, the braking is very impressive. Very impressive. Stops on a dime, honestly. So I hope you've all enjoyed our video here. I'll actually take this in second gear, turn signal on. Very easy car to drive, very forgiving car. Really just, again, no negatives that I am considering with this beauty. Just a really, really, really fun car. It does idle a little bit high after, doing some spirited driving, but otherwise just absolutely problem-free. Everything works exactly as it should, other than the antenna and the VDO gauge here, but obviously the antenna has been converted to manual. So yeah, just really a thrilling car that I would encourage any Mercedes enthusiast or any 90s, 80s sports car enthusiast to own. You can also throw your kids in the back, maybe a dog, obviously room for 4 or maybe even 5 if you have someone brave enough to sit in the middle seat back there. So really, absolutely a car that checks all the boxes, and I am just honored that the owner has chosen us to present it on his behalf, his beloved baby here. And yeah, that should cover everything. If there is something that we did miss, please let me know. We're happy to shoot a follow-up video or make a follow-up comment or take pictures of whatever it is you'd like to see. And feel free to contact us anytime at autogallery.us. That would be autogallery.us. Just go to Google. You'll find our contact information. If you'd like to learn about us, you can find us there. Thanks so much for watching and supporting.